Fight night.
Y'all ready for this?
Okay, guys, welcome back. Thanks for bearing with us through all that downtime. Unfortunately, if you didn't hear the last update, Myungsik is MIA, so we have substitute in for State. So we're going to have State versus aLive as our best of 7 now. And yeah, this should be a pretty cool match as well. I think it swings the advantage over to aLive. In aLive versus Myungsik, I would have thought Myungsik had a pretty solid shot at doing it, but this time, in this particular matchup, I think aLive is the favored player here, but that's not to say State shouldn't be able to put up a good fight and maybe even take it. It's been close every other time they played, and State's a pretty strong player. He's been in Korea for quite a while now, if I remember well. In fact, played on Team Prime for a while for Pro League, but yeah, we'll see how well he does here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is he still over there now? I don't remember if he came back to North America. Or
yeah, I think he is. Last time I had anything to do with him, I was organizing a tournament or something, and he was in Korea. He had his times in Korea time, so actually, right. I don't know. I was checking Skype.
All right. Well, this match is going to get underway. It's a best of 7 series between State and aLive. TV's that is not. Wait, aLive's yeah. Okay, he got that fixed. Showed in the lobby as he was a Zerg, and I was like, wait a second.
All right.
So we're gonna jump into this game. The first map is Coda, and we're gonna get this best of 7 series underway.
Absolutely loading in now, and yeah, this should be pretty exciting. I've seen a little bit of State's PVT before, and he's a very, very strong player. But yeah, let's hop right to it. And down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we've got our red Terran player. It is aLive. Playing, of course, for Team Speedo.
And in the top left-hand corner, we have our Protoss player just coming in on the last second notice, being able to play for this best of 7 series and the chance at $100. It is from... No, he's not on a team. He's sponsored by Gamefront. It's State.
Yes, indeed. And, yeah, State's going to be putting his pile up to the top left here. Probably going to be forming a bit of a Reaper wall with that. Putting up a gateway and maybe the Cyber Core up by that Vespene geyser to stop the Reaper from dancing around the back of his mineral line. And yeah, there it goes. Starting off. And yeah, looks like it's going to be getting some use out of it, because aLive is going for a pretty quick gas as well, following up his barracks. So probably going to be Reapers coming out of that and dashing straight across the map. Coda pretty short Reaper rush distance, and yeah, we'll see how well State deals with that. Most likely he'll have some kind of units out, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. So State's getting his gas as well. Just pretty normal time for the most part. Just positioning his buildings, like you said, to avoid or to block that Reaper path thing that's right there. And yeah, this is pretty much as normal as an opener as you can get for TVP right now.
Yeah, very, very much standard. I like State's kind of like forward pylon here. It just gives him a bit more vision over anything that enters or leaves his base. It's pretty cool. There's that Reaper starting up for aLive as his SCV runs out to scout, look for any proxy one gates, any of that funny business. But State's not anything too nutty just yet. And yeah, actually State is returning the favor with the back of his own mineral line before he gets that probe in position to plant down a Nexus.
Yeah, not the quickest Nexus that we've seen, but definitely one at a pretty standard timing for the most part. And usually Nexuses like to go down right after the Cyber Core and before the Mothership Core. So this Reaper gets scouted by this probe, and he is going to get this one probe, but by the time that the probe goes down, Mothership Core will be out, ready to defend, and it's just going to serve as like a scouting purpose, just scouting that the natural is currently up, and just whatever else it can poke at for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, that is the general role of Reapers in PvT. You're just looking for scouting. Any probe kills you get is a great bonus, but mainly aLive will just be looking to kind of see what's going on here inside state space. Count the pylons particularly. See if all the pylons are in state space, or whether there's going to be any secreted out on the map for some kind of dark purpose. But yeah, for now it looks like State has thrown down that Twilight Council. Could be going for a blink opener. Been very much the standard in PvT for a little while. And yeah, aLive is going to scout this, but if he is just going like a defensive 3-gate blink, it really doesn't matter at all if he scouts it. Or, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. It's certainly not critical. Yeah, aLive just kind of dances around as Reapers. He's getting Concussive Shell, actually, as the first upgrade from this. So this is a little interesting. Could be seeing an interesting kind of Concussive Shell push coming out here from aLive. And that could be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. With the 3 racks before he even gets his factory at all, I'm going to get that Concussive Shells going along with a small pack of Marines, and should be able to get some damage in, or at least attempt at getting some damage in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's actually a pretty good response to the blink opening. I mean, obviously State's going to be a little bit heavier on the Stalkers. So Marauders are great versus Stalkers. The main advantage of Stalkers against Marines is in the early game before Stim's done, Stalkers can just kind of kite back against them infinitely. But add a Marauder into that mix, and you take one hit from that Marauder shell, and you're dead. You can't escape. The Marauder just keeps on catching up to you, slowing you again, catching up to you, slowing you again, all the while the Marines are chasing as well. So, yeah, there it is. That's a dead Stalker.
Yeah. Can you actually blink when you're Concussive Shelled?
Yes. But Blink's not done yet. Nowhere near, and aLive just marches straight on up here. Takes out this Stalker again. Can't escape, and he's going to get into middle line. This is a lot of damage that State is facing.
Yeah, a ton of damage here. We see that 4 workers going down, 5, 6, 7 going down as well. It might even get this snipe on the Mothership Core that's right here. Just barely staying alive, but yeah, that's 9 workers that just went down with a small little push.
Yeah, very, very effective there for aLive. Meanwhile, the Reaper comes in, picks itself up. A couple kills, might just get... Nah, just barely. Keeps that probe alive on 2 health. And yeah, Blink is now just about done. But that was an excellent timing there by aLive. Just before Blink, just in those early stages of the game, where Concussive Shell is so powerful. That's where it really matters. It's right then, with the really early pushes, with like 1 to 3 Marauders. And later on, when you've got tons and tons of Marauders and you're kind of kiting away from Zealots, those are the 2 stages where Concussive Shell is like a big deal. And you can just pick off those extra units that really swing the battle in your favor. I mean, imagine if State had like 4 more Stalkers with this. It would actually be a pretty scary force. But as it is, it's just kind of 3 Stalkers. You can run around and blink away, but not much other than that.
Yeah, definitely. So Stalker's trying to do a little bit of poking in here, but not going to get too much done with the bunker that's up and a couple Marauders and a decent-sized amount of Marines, too. So just kind of poking, seeing what it can get done, putting a little bit of pressure on.
Yeah, and State's 3rd base is up on the way, and bunker is firing away on these probes. Very, very nice blink micro from State, blinking them back at exactly the right moment. Just as the shell is in mid-flight, so it disjoints it and kills them off. But State transition is coming along. There's a Dark Shrine on the way, Robotics Bay for a few Colossi, and a Warp Prism, actually, interestingly, coming out before any observers. So State is looking to put on a bit of harass. Of course he is, actually. He's got a Dark Shrine. So, yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. We'll see how aLive deals with it. For now, he's going to find himself a few Stalkers. He's going to stim on Marauder to try and chase him down. If he can tag him with a Concussive Shell again, that'll be good. But as it is, they're just a little too fast to make Stalkers.
Yeah, definitely. Warp Prism is expanded its power radius. It's getting the first Dark Templar going in here, and it's going to warp in here when he lands a Dark Templar as well to try to get some harassment done, try to get caught up in here. But we do see that a Dark Templar is actually taking out a couple of these units here by here. Excuse me. So Nexus Cannon goes down, and the Dark Templar is going to continue to poke away, but they're just going to work their way up outside of the Nexus Cannon range.
Yeah, and there are some defensive DTs here for State. So aLive is going to have to either back off or save up energy for a scan. Back at home, the DTs State have actually done quite a lot of damage, so that's pretty good on his part. A little bit of Widowmine drop doesn't get too much done on State side of the base, State side of the map, and aLive did end up backing off, preferring to kind of stay alive there than... Oh, there's a scan, can take out that DT as well. But overall, very, very good DT drop from State. His defense as well, you know, it did the job. He didn't lose. But aLive is coming back in with this Widowmine drop there, and we're seeing how much attention State is paying. Looks like it's enough. Moves a couple probes back, and everything goes back to mining before he moves in to clean them all up just as soon as his observer pops out.
Yeah, and this observer will pop out here in a couple of seconds, so being able to clean up these Widow Mines and prevent them from doing any further damage, so...
There we go. No problemo.
Yeah. Small force pushes out for aLive, taking control of the map. Checking the watchtowers, make sure there's nothing fishy going on. Warp Prism is still on the right side, and it's powered on warp-in mode, so we're going to see if State's going to continue to use that at all. But the Viking is actually going to find it, so this Warp Prism is going to go down.
Yeah, it probably will just about be able to escape. Oh, I don't know. This is a nice stepping. Oh, just barely. Yeah, I called it. Calculated. I don't know. Oh, it's actually rally pointed to turn back.
Oh, well, look at that.
So.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, that's the Viking.
No, I see. That was the Viking.
That was Viking.
So, yeah, just barely got away.
Actually, it is turned around to go back as soon as it got back.
Yeah.
Look at that. But third base is being pressured by the Terran army, so DT's going to run in the front while the rest of the unit's going to trail behind and going to stutter step and stem them back away.
Yeah, Blink Forward's aggressive here. It's going to cost him a couple of Stalkers, but aLive turns around, and that is enough for the rest of State's army to catch up and pick off almost all the Marines. Just Marauders left over here, just those tanky units. And yeah, as the Zealots close with them, the Stalkers keep on blinking forwards. A lot of them are going down. Actually, that last blink forwards probably wasn't really worth it. None of the Marauders went down. Just cost a bit of health, which of course is going to be healed away. Now aLive, bringing out a few Winter Mines, bringing out his 2-2 upgrade. State is quite a lot behind in this upgrade game. Only just finishing up his +2 armor now, whereas aLive is sitting on one with 2-2 on the way. But we'll see. Eventually, State's going to get up to that kind of dream composition where you've got a few storms and you're just doing all your damage, mainly your damage from that. And once you're there, then it doesn't really matter about your attack upgrades, but for now, State is going to get +1 weapons, maybe intending to stay on Colossi for a little bit longer, as aLive loads up a couple Widowmine drops and, yeah, starts to play the harassing game.
Definitely. So more gateways finishing up for State. He's working on the +1 ground weapons upgrade right now, and he's getting charged for his Zealots. And so definitely transitioning into that composition that you were describing earlier with the High Templars, especially with the Templar Archives coming up.
Yeah, and here we see them medevac coming in towards that main base. Over at the third base, there's another one just poised and ready to strike. State's seen that one. State sees this one as well. Brilliant reaction there. Over at the third base, he gets there just in time, but oh dear, unfortunately, not quite picking up. And
probes being taken out there. So
yeah, a lot of probes go down there, and He just barely picks up those Widow Mines too. So pretty successful drop there by aLive, but I don't know if it was worth kind of losing the drop in the main. Still though.
Yeah.
It's an effort by State. And aLive is... Yeah, he's macroing up. He's got his Ghost Academy down. He's prepared for the transition. 3-3 upgrades coming in as well, although State is now on Double Forge, powering up, chronoing through to try and catch up in those upgrade stakes. And yeah, he's building his own pretty scary army. 4th Colossus on the way, and State actually taking a bit of an army lead as well, which is very, very strong for a Protoss player. Usually they are a little behind on supply, but rely on their more supply-efficient units. But yeah, State's looking pretty powerful here.
Yeah, definitely. 4th base is being taken by State right now on the top right-hand corner, so he's going to be able to basically keep expanding his economy going, especially since his main's going to be mined out here soon. So it is right around that time where that is an actual concern that's happening. So we actually see that his mineral patches are all almost mined out here. So he only has a couple probes mining from there and is going to work on transitioning them to the 4th base.
Yeah, because that's on the way as well. Erratic boosters, which is either warp prison or observer speed. It's observer speed to keep his observers up to date. He needs that. Having seen those ghosts, I think, was the thing that triggered that out of him. And yeah, just doesn't want to be caught out by any nukes or anything.
Right.
aLive floating out his own 4th base as well, in a more forward position, more aggressive. States up towards the top right-hand corner, more laid back. He wants to be a bit more defensive and kind of craft that ultimate 3-3 army that is so scary when Protoss finally manages to find their route to reach it. But a minute. Yeah, everything going pretty well for both the players. Personal cloaking coming for the Ghosts, and State's actually moving out on the army now. On the map now, aLive keeping his units all grouped up. Nice lot of Vikings as well. They're looking for these Colossi, and just a hair's breadth away from finding them. Oh, here they go.
He finds them. So storms start going down on some of these Vikings here, and the Stalkers are going to be able to intercept them here. But taking out 1 Colossus, that's a nice win there for aLive.
Yeah, pretty nice little pick-off, and it pulls the army out of position as well. aLive gets a little run-by pass into the main base, and the rest of State's army can't quite get up there to really defend. The Vikings come in again. A good storm on them is going to take a lot of the map with blanket EMPs, remove almost those huge storms though from State. Perfectly placed, taking a lot of aLive's army, but he is able to lift up and get on into the main base, where a DT and a Zealot wait for him to try and play a little bit more defensive. Across the map, a CC was cancelled by a little bit of a Zealot run by, and over at State's 4th base, a couple Marines are going to get cleaned up by these Zealots, and yeah, State has taken out aLive's army very, very efficiently. Yeah, I think everything's looking pretty good for him. He's even going into shield upgrades, which is possibly a little questionable when Ghosts are on the field, just kind of removing all the shields without any upgrades coming into it. But it's yeah, it's pretty cool anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we do see that State is currently 40 supply above excuse me, aLive, and that's all an army unit. So aLive has a little bit of catching up to do. So smartly, he's sending out units to the right side to start being able to do some harassment and take out some of the base to try to catch up in that regards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he should be able to do a little bit of damage here. I mean, these bio units are going to have a lot of DPS. They are actually going for the photon cannons first, but then if they just go straight for the Nexus, they're going to kill us super fast, especially when State's army is all the way across the map, completely out of position to defend this Nexus. So, yeah, State elects to let it fall. But across the map, he's pushing straight into aLive's base. aLive's evacuating the natural, as well he should. This is a 132 supply Protoss army. aLive's entire army, well, not even together, the muster strength of 90 supply, and it's going to be a tough fight here. aLive, a big storm lands on the Vikings, another one following it up, and yeah, State now he doesn't have too many storms left over. I think there may be only 1 left in this army, and a big snipe is going to take that out. But this is a huge fight coming down, and State is pushing up that ramp. DT's been mixed into the army, adding in a lot of DPS, and no detection here in aLive's army yet. The Colossi have all but one fallen out the sky. That last one gets focused down, and still 2 Colossi remain. Still a bunch of High Templar being warped in as well. And State is just pummeling through here. Yeah, aLive doesn't really have too much to answer this. GG! State, the North American Protoss player, is going to take game number 1. Nice showing.
Yeah, that's a great showing considering the early damage that he got taken early on. So a really great way to kind of fight back and pull himself right back into that game.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even really go for any kind of super greedy opening either. It's not like he just went like straight into Double Forge, straight for Colossi or anything like that. He went, the normal kind of blink opening, a little bit defensive, took some damage, but yeah, his storms, every single one was exactly on point. There wasn't like one whiffed storm in that whole game. There wasn't ever 2 storms on top of each other, even slightly. And that is really, really impressive. He didn't use many, which meant that he had all the more supply in his army for Zealots, for Colossi, for the kind of other supporting units, the ones that are doing something when they're not dropping storms. So just a couple High Templars sprinkled in, made the most of them. So very, very impressive there by State.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to jump into Iron Fortress for our second map. So definitely moving on to the 4-player map. Much earlier on in this series than we've seen in the last couple of show matches.
Yeah, and if this goes anything like it did for State in the last game, this should be a pretty good map for him. Yeah, I mean, Iron Fortress, big old Forspawn map. Takes the game a little bit longer typically, and State seemed very, very comfortable with that long game with the later army. The only worry I'd have him is he was taking damage from the multi-pronged harass that is always so scary coming out of Terrans, and Iron Fortress is very, very good for that. The 3rd and 4th bases are very, very far away from your main and natural, and it's particularly easy to pick up medevacs and dash them over towards those bases. So yeah, we will see how it goes. Both the players are ready, so we'll be loading in just a moment. And yeah, this it's going to be a pretty cool game too. It's already going more State's way than I think some people expected. So hopefully he can carry on. I've got high hopes. But yeah, for now, we're just starting to load up into Iron Fortress. And yeah, here we are then. Up here in the top left, we have the red Protoss player. It is State. And then his opponent, down the bottom left-hand corner, playing in the purple trunks, the Terran player from Spinu. It is aLive. And yeah, this is it's going to be a pretty cool match. Iron Fortress, big old map. Neither players have gone for any kind of percentage play on the cheeses. All spawn, 4 spawn as well, so could be any corner of the map as far as either of these players are concerned. But they've elected just to kind of play it out, not to go for any kind of fast finishes here. So we'll see hopefully see a nice long game.
Definitely. So we're going to see the gateway going down first for State. Not going to pull out any Nexus first or anything like that. So just sticking to what he knows best, sticking to the standard opener. And we're going to see what he's going to diverge into later.
Yeah, basically.
aLive, on the other hand.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, aLive. He's going for that command center first. So I'd like to go CC first on this large map. Just trying to get ahead in the macro game here already.
Yeah, aLive. He does like his CC first. Pulls them out in about a third of his games. So Iron Fortress, again, it's the place to do it. Really big force spawn map, all spawn enabled. So yeah, pretty good stuff there. State again with his Reaper wall. Not complete here, I don't think. I think there's at least one hole between the pylon and the gateway, but it's not so vital for you to Reaper wall on Iron Fortress, because it's likely that very likely that the Reaper will come out well after your Stalker, just because it's a big force spawn map. If your opponent knows where to send their Reaper, then they've gotten very lucky. So
yeah, definitely. Nexus goes down from State, and he's gonna go ahead and get his Mothership Core, and then transitioning into getting that second gas here. So I'm gonna see what he's gonna use that gas income for.
Yeah, has got 3 in one of those gases, but I don't know. He's just opened up with one a little early than the other. There are a few options for Protoss to open up with their gases early on, and it's pretty cool. I wonder whether he'll go to 2 in each, but nope, up to 3 in each. So pretty gas heavy here. Yeah, we'll see how he uses it later on. But for now, the SCV scout comes in. He's met by laser beams from photon cannon. And the Mothership Core's repulsor cannon, and yeah, gets taken out, but not before he sees everything he needs to. The gases, he doesn't actually see the Nexus, but he should know it's there. Yeah, it looks like State is going for the Twilight Council again. Why not? World class game. It's a pretty solid opener, good all round. You can go into a lot of different things with it, and yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah, definitely. We do see that the Reapers were not a choice for aLive to come out, so he's going to go ahead and get some Marines and throwing down that reactor.
I think State's going into something a little different than the last game, actually. I think it's possible we're going to see a proxy Dark Shrine here, over on the right-hand side of the map. State's got a pylon just finishing up, and yeah, there we go. Proxy Dark Shrine coming on down. He did decently with his DTs last game, so let's see how he does with them this game. They're going to hit a little early, but aLive shouldn't be at all prepared for them. Like, chances are he's not going to know what's coming at him, because why would he? Unless he scouts State and sees the Twilight Council and sees that it isn't researching or something. But now it is researching, so there's not really any way that he can scout this other than by just randomly sending a unit over there. And he is looking around, because proxies are ever in the mind of Terran players. But seeing this probe, maybe he just decides to try and take it out and not actually go for the continued scout.
Yeah, but the Marines just following this probe, so it actually draws them away from where this pylon is. So that actually helped him in his favor. Maybe it just raises kind of the, like the alerts a little bit for aLive, but he didn't actually scout the proxy, so he's still pretty much in the dark right now.
Yeah, in the Dark Shrine, no less.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, there's some Templars being whooped in over here, and aLive does have a missile turret in his natural mineral line, but the vision radius for that is so huge it should start firing just about now. Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so Dark Templar won't be able to get that much done, but then State is going to try and sneak through up into the main base as well. Oh, a beautiful scan
nice
there.
Scan there.
Picks off both the Dark Templars, 0 damage done basically. Actually, State does have a Dark Templar hidden away in the natural, so maybe aLive thinks he killed it off. Maybe State can come back in with that in a minute. And yep, he's going to find himself at least one SCV, so that's something at least that he can get done.
Yeah, he even gets that refinery too.
Yeah, I don't think that was a cancel either.
Yeah, Scan's going to finally take him out, so just enough to put aLive on the edge of his seat for a few moments, those DTs had, so pretty nice deflection overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's enough that going DTs 2 games in a row fairly early. I mean, I think they were his second tech choice in game 1, his first tech choice in this game. yeah, I mean, now aLive has to be thinking for the rest of the best of 7 series. This guy does he like DTs? I think I'm kind of worried about these Dark Templar. Maybe he'll go faster engineering bay than he might need. He might really want, and start building blind missile turrets. In this game, he did build a blind missile turret, but it paid off him. But you know that money could have been spent elsewhere. And for now, State moving in with a warp prism is actually going to see the medevac as it comes out. But of course, they both get knowledge that each other is performing a drop. State with his blink should be in a great position to deal with this. And yep, blink under that. Pew pew. Bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. But there's a strong possibility he's going to lose his third base for that.
And definitely, a little pressure going on, and forces a cancel. Colossus will come in, be able to get some damage in, but actually, we do see that more DTs and aLive side is trying to get some damage done, but this Colossus is actually going to get sniped. Maybe a little bit of that micro. Yeah,
cute micro, but yeah, that Colossus gets taken on down. Everything aLive has actually gets sent to the dustpan, and yeah, aLive, very, very nice engagement there. Takes out the third base, takes out basically all of State's army, and trades off a bit of bio for the cost. He's done really, really well, has aLive so far this game in defending against the DTs, defending, and all his aggressive maneuvers have been successful, apart from that one Widowmine drop, which even so pulled the army out of position enough to open up the opportunity for him to go in towards that third base. So still worthwhile, even though it didn't do any damage directly.
Yeah, so we're going to see those stalkers. They're going to try to intercept that medevac that took out that pylon, but medevac smartly goes a different way. And we're going to see a small army move out by aLive going forward, but it looks like he's actually coming on back, so...
Yeah, it looks that way. Forward. That DT just kind of like pretending it's an observer. Standing there. Unfortunately some units walk past and it reveals itself. And the scan takes them on out.
Yeah, so decent sized push by our Terran player. Has a couple Widow Mines in his base. Nice mix of Marines, Marauders, 4 Vikings, and 2 medevacs. So, is this going to be something that's going to force State to try to, excuse me, find a way to? Ooh,
nice bait. I mean, yeah, this is going to be tough for State, certainly. There's no prospect of him getting a third base for anytime soon. But a couple of Widow Mines go off and the Zealots take them all out. The Blinks from the Stalkers are going to try and take out the Viking. This leaves the Colossi completely undefended against the straight bio. Those Marauders push forward, pummel down one. As the Zealots come forward, they're going to be able to take down a lot of the rest of the Marauders. But another Colossus falls. 2 Colossi have gone down in that little push out. And aLive can go home a happy man. Keeping that power unit count very, very low.
Yeah, being able to pick off those 2 or 3 Colossus was a big win for aLive and that trade. So,
yeah, definitely. And aLive is already remaxing, building up that army, picking up a couple of units and a pylon up here as well. And yeah, a little Marine scouting down the bottom right hand side of the map. aLive is starting to think about hidden bases because State needs a third base. If he doesn't get one soon, it's going to be game over. And so aLive is trying to rule out any possibilities of anything a bit crazy, any bases in non-standard locations, because I mean there certainly aren't any in standard locations. For the State, it looks like just getting aggressive. No movement towards the third base just yet. He's got the minerals for one, so he could plot one down now, but it looks like he's just committing towards aggression here.
Yeah, so a
beautiful flank by aLive. Crushes State's army. A blink back, gonna try and take it, but no, that Colossus falls. All State's blink stalkers are gonna get picked off. GG, and aLive manages to even the score 1-1 on Iron Fortress. So yeah, very well played there by a Spinu Terran player. And what map is up next? We have Terraform before Cactus. So much more of a standard map than Iron Fortress. I think it all started to fall apart for State when that Widowmine drop started to come in, and then the third base just got annihilated. It wasn't so much even just the third base, but the third base, the big surround from all of aLive's bio units and just State, everything State had got taken on out. State tends to do a lot better on maps where you have a much easier time taking through bases. So
yeah, definitely.
I don't know how he feels about Terraform though. I reckon it's better than Iron Fortress for taking a third, but maybe not as easy as Coda. You got any thoughts?
Yeah, I think State will have a better chance with Terraform in it and getting that third base. And I know that's something I noticed when I was watching the stream a lot, that he's very much a fan of getting that third base as soon as he can. And once he has that third base on, that's kind of when he really kicks it into gear and such. So I think that third base is definitely key for him to moving forward and securing the games that he's playing against.
Yeah, we're learning now, so we'll see. I reckon this will be the time for aLive to drop a cheese. He's got a bit more momentum behind him. I think it's a possibility, but either way, we'll see. It looks like actually, looks like I called that precisely wrong. So down here in the bottom spawn, he's going to be the one bringing the Gouda to the table. It is the red Protoss player. He is State.
And in the top left-hand corner, it is our blue Terran player winning that last game, and will be the recipient of the Gouda this game. It is from Team Sabinu. It is aLive.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be dropping down that pylon, running around. aLive is going to be oh, actually, that's not a scouting pattern SCV. I was right.
Ooh, look at this.
Man.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun one. I reckon that aLive has an advantage here because this goes to very much a kind of base trade situation. And Terran are always favored in this. I mean, aLive can just lift off his units, and the worst that will happen if they both like do a ton of damage to each other is a draw. And yeah, we'll see. But for now, State's okay against this, I think. He's just got the one gateway. So most likely he's going to have a pylon coming down at home in a second and going more towards that gateway and just some tech, something other than just zealots and zealots and zealots and zealots. And this puts him in a much better position. But still, that Reaper is going to be deadly against these probes. This is a really tough one to call. I think aLive, it has a pretty good position here.
Yeah, definitely have to agree. And if it comes out of the base trade scenario, Terran can always lift buildings, so you know, definitely has that going for him. But I do like how State has his pylon place. He has it behind the mineral line, and then has a gateway on the other side of it. So definitely helps with that, you know, a little bit of an edge, protecting the pylon and also just getting the gateway just a teeny bit closer towards the base, so he'd be able to get those zealots in sooner.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. But now this Reaper comes in, jumps in. State immediately pulls those probes. He knows what's happening now. Immediately he's going to go with those two zealots as well. The Cybercore is finished up, so he can start some stalkers, and that's what he's going to do in just a minute. But for now, this Reaper is going to be slaughtering probes. A fourth one comes down. The Mothership Core being chronoed out too. aLive doesn't have many SCVs, and that number is only going to go down as those zealots get into the base. Whilst aLive also doesn't really have an answer for the zealots, he can run away. He is fast enough, and he actually gets a surround on one. So whilst a few of those SCVs are going to go down, that zealot will eventually fall. And now State's going to try and he's going to get through this bunker. Going to focus on the SCV. And now one Marine out, but a Stalker on the way as well. Meanwhile, the Mothership Core has driven away the Reaper at home, and State is now sitting at 17 probes to 14. He's got a tech advantage. and Reapers are on the way as well. But aLive does have those Reapers. Sorry, Stalkers are on the way for State as well. Finally, all the units for State get cleaned up. And yeah, it looks like State is actually just going to back on off with those Stalkers. And try and go back home, settle back into a normal macro game. He will have a decent advantage in this, given his he's got faster gas, his techs are in a better position to continue forwards, and he's got a worker advantage. So this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, definitely. So Stalker's going to go ahead and push away these Reapers. Now there's going to be 2 Stalkers kind of doing a little bit of pressure around the base. Reapers are trying to get some damage done so they can, you know, shut down this gateway. But Stalker's always going to come back and kind of push it away a little bit. And we see the other Stalkers poking at the front of the base as well. But 4 Marines going to be sitting there. It'll be just fine.
Yeah, it should be a-okay. Hasn't actually even thrown down a bunker there, but both players starting to expand now. The Reapers have run around and are going to take down the pylon. I guess that's the disadvantage of putting it around there. Although, to be honest, I think whilst that's a great pylon position for against Zoe players, I don't really see too much of an advantage for doing it against Terran.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, Terran having
cool
all ranged units too. That pylon being on the other side is a kind of a disadvantage. Not necessarily a disadvantage, but
yeah, like maybe if you put it way further back so it just reaches the gateway, but who knows?
yeah.
For now, though, these Reapers moving across the map again. The Mother's Core is ready. It has a photon overcharge, but aLive just wants to know what's going on, what's happening. There's a Nexus. That's good for him. He means he doesn't have to worry about any Hass-esque cheeses. He might have been watching WCS earlier. But actually, just pick off one. Yeah, basically perfect results for him. He picks off a probe and forces out photon overcharge. So that's a really big win for aLive there. State, though, he has a little bit of a contain here, because it's going to be tough for aLive to move down that ramp, given how much the Stalkers can kite away from him. But again, he's going for concussive shells to try and mitigate that advantage and pick off those Stalkers. But yeah, but I like what he's doing with the Reapers too. He sent each one towards corners of the map, just making sure that there's not a hidden expansion, because he did see that the base was a little barren. I mean, not as barren as like obviously there's something somewhere, but just enough that you probably should just check the corners, but you might as well. So he checks them, doesn't see anything, just doing his diligence to make sure that there's no sneaky shenanigans happening. Yeah, I mean, he did get, I would say, caught off guard by the DTs in the last game, but he didn't really take any damage from them. Maybe just didn't expect them.
Yeah,
but yeah, State's running away from the little push out from aLive. It is once again this concussive shell push, no stim, no nothing. But he forced out a photon overcharge a lot earlier on. And that's going to help him a little. State does have one, but if aLive just kind of powers through towards the main base, actually he's not going to be able to. This time State has some sentries, so State, he's in a fine position to defend this here.
Yeah, Reaper comes in, just trying to get some extra scouting, making sure there's nothing too off-putting. And these Marines and Marauders are gonna just charge right in. So force fields come down, so that kind of blocks them. So they're gonna actually take some damage instead of what the intention was to get into the main. So
yeah, very very close to perfect force field. He almost completely trapped a big bunch of those, but still picks off quite a few. So some decent force fields there. And State is actually, whoa, this is such a crazy position to hide gateways in.
Look at that, yeah.
Yeah. Going to be hiding 2 gateways up here, and while aLive thinks it's just a regular 3-gate or 3-gate blink expand, it's actually going to be going up to what is this, 6 gates? Nope, 2 more in the natural, 8-gate blink.
Yeah, so probe's getting moved out as these Marines are coming back in, but State's getting ready to blink right on in. So pylon going down the front of the natural. We see bunkers are starting to go up, and the aggression is going to start. Force fields around the bunker, preventing the SCVs from doing as much repairing as they could do. So that first bunker is going to go down, but the second one is going to start. But
Yeah, a couple more nice force fields. It's a good surround, though, of those SCVs, but eventually does get taken out. aLive, though, has a ton of Marauders, and State's going to try focusing down. He's already taken out a lot of these SCVs, but the Blink Micro only just really now starting the F-State. But when it starts, it's pretty good. Widowmine's getting barred up. These are kind of the nemesis of any kind of big aggressive push from Protoss at the minute. Although, with Blink, you can bait them out. You can even kind of make them work for you if you get a good bit. State, nice Blink. Blink's back just enough Stalkers as well. Only hitting one with, Stalker with that Widowmine. But now these Marauders, nice micro with the medevac from aLive is going to save a lot of the Marauders, but everything else gets picked off. State still has more and more Blink Stalkers, more and more Zealots coming in, and he has pushed away. That's it. In fact, did he kill the CC? Yeah, he killed the CC.
He killed the CC.
Ooh, this is a big, big win for State. He's in a great position now. aLive is just going to continue to bleed out. State has so much more economy than him. He can just be always walking in Blink Stalkers, always doing this damage. And aLive is just going to slowly bleed out unless he can pull something big. Huge aggressive Blink forwards, right on top of everything. All the Marauders getting taken out. Just 3 left now, and the SCVs coming off the mineral line. They're going to provide a lot of additional tanking. But is it going to be enough? There's only 11 SCVs left now for aLive, and every time I say another, it's going to go down. Just 4 on the map and barely any unit. 65 supply for State to 20 from aLive. State blinks forwards once more time. Focusing down that medevac. No fancy micro here. No tricks for you, aLive. And State's going to take down the last couple of units. And GG with a big old cheese into another cheese. State is going to channel Haas to win the second, or the third map even. Win his second map in Fight Night number 29, best of 7. So that is going to bring us through onto Cactus Valley. Another forceful map, one where so far in the series, State has showed weakness, but Cactus Valley is a very different beast than Iron Fortress. I think State should be much better poised to take this map. So yeah, State just wants a minute. He wants to heat up his coffee a little bit. It's still the morning in Korea. Speaking of which, I'm going to open the window. It's getting a little hot in here.
Yeah, it is a summertime. Well, I suppose you're over in the UK. Is it raining over there, or am I just? No,
it's not.
No, it's not. Great.
The bit of the UK I live in isn't particularly rainy. It's just like I don't know. I'm moving to Manchester soon though, and there it rains like all the time. I just get used to it. It's not like downpour. It's just pretty much always a little bit damp. It's a very, very unusual period for Manchester if there aren't some puddles on the pavement. If there aren't any puddles in the pavement, that means it hasn't rained and it's actually been like quite sunny for a good week or so. And I think I lived there for about 3 years before I moved back down here, and I think I saw no puddles when I went out like 2-3 times maybe over the course of those 3 years. So I like it. I actually quite like it. I'm not a big fan of hot weather.
Yeah, me neither.
Which is lucky because I live in the UK where it's never hot. But either way, just waiting on States to get his coffee together. And yeah, he doesn't seem to need it. He's up 2-0 against, 2-1 even, against the Korean Terran aLive. And this is so far his best. If this was a best of 3, this would be the first best of 3 States ever won against aLive. They've played 2 previously, and aLive has taken both of them 2-1. But both of them, I believe, were quite close series. So yeah, we'll see. See whether he can put himself on match point.
Yeah, so Cactus Valley's coming up. This is game number 4 of this best of 7 series. It's 2-1 currently in State's favor against aLive. And we're going to be jumping in the map here in just a few moments.
We'll see what the spawns are like. There can be some pretty good spawns for Terran on this map. If it's cross positions, State will be feeling great about this. But look what it is. As we jump into Cactus Valley, down here in the bottom left-hand corner, the red Protoss player Only up 2-1 against his Korean opponent. It is State.
And in the top right-hand corner, it is a Terran player choosing to have the color purple and having that really neat clan tag, actually, with the crown there. It is from Team Sabenu. It is aLive.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, you don't get on Team Spano without being at least pretty good. But, yeah, no crazy cheeses being thrown out in this game. It is a bit more difficult to do on Cactus Valley. Although if we were going to, I'll be looking to State for some proxy oracles. But I don't really think of State and think, oh, big cheesy 2-base all ends. I think he is much more of a kind of macro-y player, a bit more standard. So we'll see. Not to say he's above the occasional bit of aggression now and then, but this game aLive has actually gone for a gas first build. So I'm thinking Mind Drops.
Yeah, either Mind Drops or go into a Banshee. We see those are generally the two variations from going gas first and then barracks. So yeah, I would have to agree that Mind Drops seem to be the better option from what I've seen in Cactus Valley, or at least the ones I see more often than not.
Yeah, especially given how much aLive has gone for those Mind Drops in basically every game except for Game 3 where he didn't have the chance against State. This time he's going straight for them as quickly as he can. And State, I'm smelling a proxy Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to be playing the percentages here. There's a 66% chance that his opponent is in the top left or the top right. And if his opponent is in bottom right, then he's going to be very, very sad. But luckily for State, aLive is just up. Basically the perfect position for State, as close as you can get with this proxy. So that's going to be handy there. And State moves on up to Scout, and he's gonna see something that'll make him a very happy little Protoss, which will be a Marine standing at the top of the ramp, denying his scouting.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna see this probe is gonna get destroyed here. So I'm gonna know that the Terran player is there, and like you called it earlier, we do see Widow Mines being queued up, and the starport's coming up, and they're naked. So it's gonna definitely be a Widow Mine drop. So generally 2 Widow Mines, and then the 4 Marines go along with that. So
yeah, for sure. And if aLive just brings all the Widow Mines with him, then he's probably going to take a lot of damage from this Oracle, because he won't really have enough Marines for the Oracle. In fact, if he takes the Marines and the Widow Mine, then this Oracle could do game-ending damage. But yeah, we'll have to see. I think the Oracle is going to hit just a little bit before. I don't think aLive's going to have left yet when that Oracle comes in, and aLive will be at home with an Oracle with 6 Marines, apparently with a Hellion. Yeah, so as this Oracle comes in, aLive does have enough Marines to push it away. And State's just going to kind of wander around. Oh, doesn't want to get too close to that Oracle. Nope, that's it.
Oof.
Rip. That's a bit of a shame. But at least State knows what's coming at him now. He does have to start that second Oracle. He's actually rallying it towards aLive's base, but he needs detection. If that Widow Mine gets burrowed in his mirror line, no mining. Goodbye hopes and dreams. But for now, State actually looks like he's committing more to continued aggression here, with an Oracle just finishing up again. And this time, aLive has nothing at home. This time, it's going to do a lot of damage. And State also has 4 gateways up and running, so this is going to be a very, very powerful push from State. But he has to worry about these these Marines and the Widow Mine coming in at home.
Yeah, Widow Mine starts getting buried and doesn't even get noticed, and they get bunched up, and that's 12 probes that just got killed with that one shot. And so that's all of the probes from State. So State's coming in with 4 Stalkers and then an Oracle. So gonna take out that Widow Mine before it gets planted down, but Yeah, the full surround by these SCVs. These stalkers might actually be taken out before the SCVs would be.
Yeah, all aLive has to do is take out those stalkers, and it's GG in his favor. There we go. State knows it, so aLive. Very nice game 4 win for him. Even the score up again, 2-2 as we go on into Dash and Terminal. Now this is going to be a really interesting one. Reapers, of course, can do game-ending damage on this map, but so can the Mothership Core. If you get your Mothership Core out really fast, kind of deal with the Reaper and just like... there was a build, I think, in a fairly major tournament, maybe Home Story Cup, actually. As this map came out, somebody hadn't played Dash and Terminal, really, and they got caught off guard by a 10-gate Mothership Core rush build. And you just get that Mothership Core out, dash it across the map through that really, really tight air-to-air rush distance. And it arrives in the Terran's base, and they've got like 2 Marines, and you've killed the 2 Marines, and then you kill all their SCVs with the Mothership Core.
Wow.
They can't do anything.
Right.
Kill Marines as they come out, just deny mining. It's so strong. You really, really have to... you can't open up Reaper on Dash and Terminal. As much as it would be good, you leave yourself open to that if you do, but we'll see. There's still a possibility.
Yeah, you think aLive's gonna do? I've seen Tasia play at this map pretty often, and he's a huge fan of lifting the command center up and placing it down at the gold, and then getting kind of a nice siege tank push to just go up next to the bottom of the cliff. Do you think aLive's gonna go for something like that, or do you think he's gonna go with that Reaper opening?
I think he's gonna flip to the gold base. Just something tells me. So. So spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, but deciding he wants to move on to greener, golder pastures. It is the red Terran player for Spinu. It is aLive.
Spawning at the 3 o'clock position, it is State, the blue Protoss player, placing his pylon smartly down at the edge of his base, where he can see where Reapers might jump into, or any other enemies that might want to wander that direction. So yeah, definitely gold. Mining from the gold, aLive is getting his supply depot down.
Yeah.
Do you think State knows that this is that this is happening, just as like this is what Terran players do, or is this something that's going to catch him off guard potentially?
I think he's going to be aware that it's a possibility, but I don't know whether he's going to be whether he knows enough about aLive to go, this is something that aLive does all the time, or anything like that.
Yeah. Is this a full block? Block?
Yes.
Block
yes,
off,
this
then?
blocks the Reapers. So if aLive is going for a Reaper build, which he could be, I think we've already seen that tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, with the
in the first game.
Yeah, the first
versus
series.
Pig. Apocalypse versus Pig. Now, of course, this is a different matchup, but the same build works just as well.
Yeah.
The only difference being, State can do this. He can block off this Reaper jump path, and aLive is going to be, can't get Reapers up there. It's going to be much more difficult to go all the way around, especially if he's already rallied them there. Although units do have this kind of weird thing where they kind of jump up, like they know whether the path is blocked off. The pathing ignores fog of war, so I think aLive's Reaper will actually just go. It won't bother jumping up, seeing it can't get up there, jumping back down, and then going around. So, we'll see.
Good point. Yeah, we'll see.
Let's watch this Reaper as it comes out. Yeah, see, it comes out the different path. aLive is okay. Yeah, I think aLive, he sent it on the right path and then figured out what's happened, and now he's sending it around. State still no idea that this has happened. State sending a probe up to try and proxy near aLive, but yeah, you won't see much success. This Reaper comes in. I don't know if this is a normal time. I think this is about a normal time for Reaper coming in, so I don't know if State is suspecting anything here. But, yeah, I mean, aLive can't really do much here now.
Yeah, definitely. So we do see the pylon at the bottom right. Do you think this is going to be a pylon that's going to be for Dark Shrine? It's definitely too far away from it being anything else. So
Yeah, I think it's possible. But aLive was actually he did get a scout off with his Reaper, and of course saw that there was no pylon. Saw that there's only one pylon, two pylons now in the main base. I think it was one at the time he went in. So he knows there's a proxy out somewhere. So he's scouting around this Reaper looking for it. But I think that's what this pylon was for. I think it's to make aLive start panicking and thinking, where's the Stargate? Where's the proxy? What's happening? I'm a little bit worried. I think that's what it's for. I don't think it's actually specifically for like, oh, I'm going to hide a Dark Shrine or anything. But we'll see.
yeah, definitely. So we see Terran player is on 3 racks right now. And he's getting that concussive shells and the Marauders that he's a huge fan of, and it seems to be working out for him. Or at least the first game really worked well for him, and then it was kind of alright in the second game, but didn't get as much done as he would like. So he's going to try it a third time on this map, see what kind of results he gets.
And yeah, this is going to be pretty good. He picks off 2 Stalkers here. Bada bing, bada boom, those are dead. And I think State should be okay here, though. Oh, it looks like he's actually moving down there again. Yeah. He's actually just going to completely let go of his natural. Okay, no, he is going to photon overcharge it. So, yeah, that does force aLive back. aLive can't run up the natural on this map because the kind of the distance to run through the photon overcharge is so large. But on the other hand, he can run around, and then maybe he can get into natural. But State's ready with a sentry, so I don't know how much this will actually get done for aLive, but we'll see. He's going to build up his forces. 3 racks, adding on a factory. aLive can start thinking about, in fact, should start thinking about getting another CC down pretty soon. And yeah, it looks like there he is. He's getting it in his natural location.
Definitely. So Photon Overcharge just expires now. So Mothership Core not quite ready to throw another one down. So State's going to try to micro this, sending in the probes to take some damage so the Stalkers can be able to get some damage in, but the probes all die. There's 11 of them, and this Mothership Core might actually go down with it. So
yeah, it does just manage to escape, but this natural base is not going to be long for this world, and State's going to try and pick away at these Marines, but this is so much bio from aLive. This is the power of that fully saturated gold base. You can get it up so fast. State's trying to go for the blink, trying to show some of that skill he displayed in previous engagements, but nice force fields are going to pick off 1 Marine and deny aLive entry to the base for a while. But
yeah, that pylon is 4 health, and that's powering not only the blink but 2 gateways as well. So this is a lot of this is a huge amount of damage that's being done by aLive.
Yeah, and he can just skirt the edges of this base and avoid the photon overcharge. State though, Stalkers slightly higher range can pick away at these Marines just on the edges, and aLive is trying to take down the production, trying to limit what State can do, but every stim is hurting him now, and a lot of his units are very weak. Marauders are taking a lot of damage from that photon overcharge as well, and it looks like State has got enough to actually start pushing forwards, and his blink is nearly done as well. So yeah, but back at home, aLive has another cadre of units ready to move out.
Yeah, so we see that the second base is finished up for aLive, so aLive's turning that into an orbital command now and sending a lot of his SCVs there, as obviously mining at a gold base that has less spots to mine in general. First part that's going to mine out really quickly here, so sending another troop. He's actually going to elevator them up or use the medevacs to be able to snipe out the gateways.
Yep, he's going to take them out, and aLive actually has to send a bunch of units back home because these 4 Blink Stalkers are doing a bunch of damage, killing off a few Marauders. But they blink away, trading off shields for units. It's brilliant. State though, GG, aLive, he just can't quite contend with that, and that is the power of the Gangnam Terran. So There we go. And I believe that puts aLive on match point 3-2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, State's back is up against the wall as we go on to Moonlight Madness. And these are, you can kind of tell, these three maps, Dash and Terminal, Moonlight Madness, and Bridgehead, are the three maps that are at the end of the best of 7. They're the ones the players didn't want to play on. Neither of them really wanted it to go this long. But now, State is hoping it goes all the way to Bridgehead, because he's got to win Moonlight, and he's going to win Bridgehead to actually be able to take the series, take the pot. And it's a bit of a tall order. Moonlight Madness is a weird map. A lot of things that can happen.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. We definitely see the most interesting games from Moonlight Madness, or at least from what I've been observing so far here. So let's expect some good games. There's obviously those 2 different natural expansion options as well, with the rocks and the more natural that's there too. So we're going to get this game underway. It is Moonlight Madness. This is game number 6 of this best of 7 series.
Loading in, and it's going to be a bit of a weird one. As we jump in, we've got our red Protoss player up in the top right-hand corner. His back is up against the wall. He needs your support. He is State.
And the bottom left-hand corner, it is a blue Terran player. He's currently at match point right now. Will he be able to close it out, or will he have to try it again at the ace match? It is, from Team Sabenu, it is aLive.
Yes, indeed. And again, not too much cheese here. Moonlight Madness is a weird one because it's not like you can. There aren't that many cheeses that are just like, oh, this is Moonlight Madness approved 100% the best cheese. But there are a lot of possibilities for like just weird army movements, catching the opponent a bit off guard with those back rocks into the third base. It's just a bit of a funny map. Lots of high ground that looks like it should be impassable high ground but isn't, and so you can kind of jump Reapers up onto it or drop tanks on it or stuff like that. So
yeah, that's right.
So
you see that a lot of Pro League where is this section over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Just drop tanks on and shell away all day.
Yeah, build a couple missile turrets and it's horrendous.
And definitely. So we see that there was a gas first before the barracks, so going to transition into the Widowmine drop or the Banshees here instead of going for that Reaper opening from aLive.
Yeah, most likely. State, for his part, has been scouting around with a couple of workers. Actually pulled quite a few off the line. I think something he must have had some kind of feeling that he was getting proxy racked, because otherwise it's a long way to go over to check over kind of where he did for proxy racks.
Yeah.
And
oh, actually, look at this factory that's being placed down.
Oh,
You think he's just going to place that factory right on top and then just produce siege tanks from there?
Actually. Maybe.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like Widowmines, but that's a cool thought. State's sending a probe out to look, but he's not going to see this. Not quite. Yeah, this is just the pylon. Are you breaking through the back rocks? But aLive is already inside the base. Doesn't need to break through those back rocks. So this is going to be, this is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Where's it going? Nope,
well, we
just
see the
Widowmines.
Widowmine. So my dream could come true still, but we do see he's going to open up with a Widowmine. So yeah, pretty sneaky. He's going to just be able to walk that straight through. There's a mothership core, but I think he realizes that there's something happening.
Oh, he's looking.
So he's working at the rock. So SCV comes out, and now the probe's coming. So probe knows what's up.
Yeah, State should be able to take care of this with a Stalker. This is, I have to say, this is, I think, a really great decision by aLive, taking advantage of one of what I would. Oh, it's going to go for mothership core.
Yeah, the mothership core. Critical damage right there.
Yeah. Actually, if State breaks down the rocks, then it'll kill the Widowmine.
Oh, that's a good point.
But he's actually thinking about that Reaper before going back to work on the rocks. But yeah, I think this is a really good decision by aLive. I think it kind of takes advantage of one of what I would say is the weaknesses of State's build so far. They very often open up without detection. So wouldn't mind burrows up, get one life set in it, and the other one having unburrowed, that one's gonna go down. No, not quite.
Oh, ooh, look at that.
Yeah, as they yeah, a lot of the shots were in flight, but as the unit burrows or cloaks, it doesn't take damage from any shots that were in flight. So now aLive. He's got to take 2 more hits. Bam, 1 photon overcharge. That'll do it. He really doesn't want to take any damage from that there. And now aLive. Yeah, it's just going to lift off that factory and try and go across the map. That one Widowmine is... I don't know what it's doing. I think it should just really kind of burrow at that third base and try and stop State from taking it. But
yeah, seems to be taking the long path, but... Oh, that's right. This whole thing is walled off. Too, so he's just thinking he can bring this home, but he can't. Not yet.
Nope. Not yet. Not yet. Maybe one day.
Yeah, so Observer's going to come out here, and the second Widowmine is just going to get picked off here pretty quickly.
Yep.
Maybe.
One more shot, I think. Oh, actually 2 more shots. And then bada bing, bada boom. Takes on out. And yeah, aLive's factory's floating back. Back at home, he's got a bunch of barracks coming down, stim on the way, and yeah, everything's looking good for him. State, a little bit behind in probes, although they're equal and State's now a little ahead. Usually, you expect the Protoss to have a decent worker lead at this stage, just because it's assumed that they're putting chrono into workers and just chronoing them out as quickly as possible. So the balance all kind of hinges around Protoss having a slightly better economic early game, and aLive, of course, has mules to make up for that equal worker as well. And oh, we're going to find himself an observer there, and yeah, it looks like he's just heading back home as well. So
yeah, nice pick off there to be able to get that observer.
Yeah,
limiting the vision that's of State on the map. Obviously, the more observers that are out there, the more vision he's going to have, which will definitely help him with seeing those attacks. So even sniping that one observer can open up multiple opportunities here and force that robo time to be dedicated towards something that's not, say, a Colossus or Immortal.
Yeah, definitely. If State wants to replace that observer, then he's going to have a late Colossus. And if he doesn't, then he's going to have to accept that there will be some blind spots. And that's really not something I think he should do against aLive, who has proven to be so good at exploiting those blind spots and dashing in. But yeah, for now,
they're just gonna continue hunting down whatever they can. Even seen a stalker getting some shield damage done on him, so no real harm there.
Yeah, I like that State is building a photon cannon in his main mineral line as well. He's been taking a bit of damage occasionally from Widowmine drops, and this will help out so much against him. It helps out against drops just because it delays. It's 300 health that the drop has to chew through or take a bunch of damage from before they can actually get to work on the juicy bits that they want to kill. And that buys time for your army to bring back. And of course, it's detection for the Widowmines themselves. So I think that's brilliant. aLive is going to express his distaste of this by dropping. Is he actually going to pick up this Widowmine? I don't think so. I think he's just going to boost on through with his marines.
Actually,
oh no, he's
going to pick it up there.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah, being really sneaky with that. Just gonna wait to send these units around to kind of just get a little bit of distraction, and then come in with a medevac and drop the Widowmine and the marines and try to get some damage done.
Yeah, this is pretty good. He actually elects not to go towards the front, given that State does have a very powerful army there.
Yeah.
But State actually doesn't have that much here in the back. Is this area aLive's the medevac is floating over? Can you land units there? Can you siege up siege tanks? That's ridiculous. What the hell?
I'm not sure about where that like glowy stuff is, but
yeah, no, I don't think there. But either way, aLive coming in here. Widowmine borrows up. Actually, State's not moving.
Ooh, yeah, 5 probes get taken out. So
it's a solid hit.
Cannon does get taken out, but saved some probes live, so I would say that's well worth it here. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what the Cannon's for, is just delaying. But of course, in the natural mineral line as well, 2 winner mines get brought out. They take out 2 probes, but the cannon placed down there takes care of the rest of it.
yeah,
aLive is still ready with that medevac up in the top right corner. But for now, State looks like he's getting ready to press on in. I think a Widowmine must have taken out one of his observers or something, because he's not really prepared to actually take it out. But some force fields come down. He's actually pressing in. Those are the dual pillars of cutting off the SCVs and actually forcing these units kind of up against his army, up against those colossi. And that's going to be really, really good for him aLive, making use of those units on the high ground as best he can. But he has to be careful. Those Vikings are looking for the colossi, but equally State is going to try and focus them down with his stalkers, but they're getting a little too far forwards and taking a lot of damage from those marauders. And aLive senses this. He's surging on forwards, looking down to take down those colossi, and it looks like they're both going to go down. The second one gets saved by that warp prism, actually, just in the nick of time. But just so close. State is playing with fire here. But as the last Viking falls from the sky, there's not that much. Oh, okay. One marauder shell is all it took. GG to State, and aLive is going to take the entire series 4-2. A valiant effort put in by State, and a couple of really, really good games. But in the end, the Korean Terran aLive is just a little too strong, and will take the best of 7. We'll take the grand prize of Fight Night number 29.
yeah, definitely some good show matches tonight from all of our players here.
Yeah,
definitely. Sure. And then, unfortunate that we didn't get to see Myunks play. That was who I was personally looking for. But we did get State in, and it turned out to be a good show match. State was able to keep up with aLive, both being, I'd say, kind of around the same level for the most part. aLive, obviously. Excuse me. aLive also not being on the top tier of the Koreans, but still enough of a challenge to show his formidableness against State.
Yes, but yeah. All our matches are pretty good today. It's always a pleasure watching Pig play as well, and we had some ZVZ and some crazy games. That build by Wacker on Iron Fortress with all the Ultralisks was definitely one to watch. And if you want to see any of the builds you've seen, rewatch any of those crazy cheese versus cheese games. They're all going to be uploaded to one of our sponsors' sites, Spawning Tool, and there'll be plenty of other analysis to be done up there as well. You can look up. You can sort games, all the replays up on Spawning Tool. You can sort them by what build was used or what player versus what player. It's a really, really great resource for practicing, for getting builds, or for casters if you're looking for something to cast from a replay and put up on your YouTube channel. Really, really cool website. And of course, last but not least, of course, a shout out to the streaming service that makes this all possible, hitbox.tv. That's where we're streaming on, and yeah, they provide an excellent service. So come on over. If you subscribe right now to Team Gravity, you get a $5.99 G2A voucher to spend, and of course the subscription only costs $5.99. So that's a pretty good deal, I say. But, thanks for tuning in. I'm Trignal, and I've been joined by Hawkeye, who has been doing all the production and co-casting for me. So big shout out to you, man.
Yeah, thanks. It was great to be able to have this opportunity to cast with you. It was great.
Cheers.
Yeah, definitely agree. And thanks for you. You're up in what would be, if I'm doing my math right, what is that, like 3 a.m. in the morning right now?
3:30, yeah.
3:30? Yeah, there we go.
Passion never dies. Passion never sleeps. And speaking of which, I'm actually about to hop off and cast ASL Defender League. So if you're looking for somewhere to go, do join me for that over at twitch.tv/Ascended Starcraft. I think they've just hopped into a game, but I'll be joining End of Sword for that afterwards. But go ahead and give Team Gravity a follow as well on Twitter. I believe it's at Team Grav. I'm at TrignalSC, and of course at the real Jake K for Hawkeye. So keep you up to date on all our awesome exploits in the wonderful world of esports.
Yeah, definitely. So thanks again for watching. We had some great matches tonight, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.